Really cool. Look who I found in the studio, Loretta Graham, not with the Girl Scouts today, always with the Girl Scouts, but now we're talking St. John United Church of Christ in Collinsville. And you sent me a flyer before I even go into this interview. Gosh dang you for sending me a dessert flyer right before I'm starting to cook, because I had cookies going and everything after I saw that, you know?
It's going to be a great time, CJ. It really is.
How are you feeling today? Good?
I'm feeling good. Yes. Yes.
Now, you got to fill me in on dessert theater. I mean, what goes better than good music and great treats, you know?
Well, before I go into the dessert theater, let me just talk about St. John's Church of Christ in Collinsville. We focus on we have a genuine impact in the people in our community, and we are living as a church in the heart of the community, CJ, with the community, of course, at our heart. And because we are called to create a community where all people that are seeking Christ will experience God's love and grace. So yes.
Well, let me ask you too, just because we do a show now on Thursdays. I don't know if I've told you this yet. It's at 2 p.m. and it's all about exploring one's faith, where we Brian Trust talks to business owners, non-believers, believers alike, and just kind of explores that with them. And you know what I think is incredible is if you look behind any successful community, it's because of a strong church community too.
Yes. So I love talking about community, and I love talking about church, because we are committed at St. John's United Church of Christ. We are committed in our capacity to provide life-living ministry to those around us that we can influence. So, CJ, let's talk about this dessert theater.
Let's do it. Okay, here we go. So on July 27th, Dessert Theater, Music Through the Ages is the theme of this, correct?
Yes, Music Through the Ages. The event is going to be on the 27th, like you said, of Saturday the 27th at 7 p.m. at our church. The musical show will feature music of different eras.
Okay.
From Louis Armstrong and jazz to the Barbie movie. So we will have dancers, we will have instrumental groups, we will have a chorus singing, we will have many soloists from the Metro East, including yours truly, myself. I'll be singing a solo. Bette Milder, The Rose, yes.
No way. That'll be awesome. That's one of my favorite songs, by the way. It really is. Well, and this is where I've always kind of found this fascinating, Loretta. And I'm not as pronounced in the church as I should be here locally, but I still practice my faith and I still talk about it. And one of the things that I've noticed is music kind of goes hand in hand with spirituality.
Yes, it does.
And regardless of if it's a gospel number, there's still, whenever you connect with a piece of music, it can really connect you to yourself a little bit more and find that whole, that holistic approach that so many people need in their lives. That internal clock starts to get kind of tapped into a bit.
Absolutely. Music is the fabric of our country, really. It truly is. We in this country have defined ourselves through music from the beginning. And when I say from the beginning, I'm talking about the Revolutionary War, the Star Spangled Banner and the War of 1912, the battle hymn of the Republic when it comes to the Civil War, now to the incredible explosion of music of the last century, talking about jazz and folk music and rock and roll now. Yes,
right.
Rock and roll. And country music.
So I gotta tell you this. There was a gentleman, and you said Louis Armstrong. I was in St. Louis radio for a couple years, and we did a music show. And his name was Joe Bosey, and he still plays at one of the wonderful restaurants over Evangeline's in St. Louis. He goes and plays there. This man was on the Godfather soundtrack, played for Dizzy Gillespie, did all these wonderful things. And I'm just sitting there, and what I found so fascinating about it is, jazz was his heart. Mm-hmm. But jazz actually is heard in every piece of music today. If you really look at the music sheet and you look through it is just, there's hints of jazz in everything.
Jazz music, country music, folk music, all of this music has taken, it might be different paths, but it's all a piece of our American identity. And Louis Armstrong, speaking of Louis Armstrong, he did more to spread our message through singing, song, playing, of freedom and innovation than any single person over the last century. So our history, our language, and our soul are recorded in our music. And I sing, it's all about singing from the soul.
I wanted to talk to you about that too. Okay, now this, I know that we're going in a bunch of rabbit holes here, but I was reading something, or actually watching, it was called Elvis the Searcher. It's on HBO. And it's about Elvis's spirituality and how he was so involved in trying to figure out who he was and what was out there, and had just really endowed into it. And whenever he really started to evolve his spirituality, his singing changed. It wasn't that raspy kind of, hillbilly twang. It was this powerful, deep in the diaphragm. And every singer that's spiritually connected has this raw emotion to where it's just something different. It's not this kind of let's get through the song and talk and get through it. It's this really deep and rich Aretha Franklin-esque type of voice, and Elvis at the end's voice, where it was just rich and raw and it just felt real. Yes. I don't know. That's just me.
Yes, and music is what feeling sounds like.
Yes.
It truly is what feeling sounds like. And, and speaking of Elvis and Louis Armstrong, our history, our language, our soul is about music. There's no deeper expression of the soul of this country than the profound archive of music that we have. Now, when you look at America, CJ, this is the story of the United States. I'm going to give it to you it's a kid that walks out from his home with a song and nothing else, and conquers the world. We have replicated that phenomenon over and over again.
Oh my!
And we could start with, you talked about Elvis Presley. He did something. He came and just changed the world. Elvis Presley. But we could add numbers and go hours with people like Johnny Cash and Mahalia Jackson.
Charlie Pride,
Loretta Lynn.
Yes.
Aretha Franklin, can't forget her.
Carole King, the whole 9 yards.
This is all of the America character.
You said something that is so right. Everyone starts with that song in their head as a little boy or girl when they're walking out of the front door. And you are 100% right. That was beautiful. What a connection. And now, I'm sure in your church community, because I was reading the flyer, there's members of the church community that are going to be a part of this, but also members of just the existential community too.
Absolutely.
How was it difficult to find all the performers, or is the talent pretty rich around St. John United Church of Christ?
We have a very rich talent, of all ages, of all different kinds of eras. We have quite and I have to talk about our choir director, Jenny King. She is just amazing. She is very diversified when it comes to music, and knowing music is of all eras. So, but when it comes to music is a ministry, as you know, CJ.
Yeah.
It truly is a ministry. And I have a deep gratitude for the love of music, because every time I sing, I feel like I'm delivering a message.
Yeah.
I'm delivering a message. The emotional power of music is a vital and moving aid to worship. Music and song continues to play a vital role in the life of God's people today.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, I can't even top that. I can't even follow that up, but I can do this. At 7 p.m. on Saturday, July 27th, inside Faith Hall, which is a part of St. John United Church of Christ in Collinsville. This is going to be a fun night full of music through the ages, church members as well as folks from the community providing entertainment while the audience enjoys a variety of desserts. Okay, I'm Italian and I'm nosy and I love food. What desserts are we talking here, Loretta?
We're going to have many, many desserts, from cakes to pies to cookies to coffee to, you name it. There is nothing more satisfying than to listen to music and have dessert. So we are going to have a great time. We are inviting everyone, everyone from all over, not just from the metro area, but from everywhere, to be a part of this and to join us for this. You won't want to miss this event.
Nothing makes me tear up more than people that love community. You know, I was driving into work today and just seeing, bar owner Jimmy Johnson outside cleaning his front door and, out there just sweeping and just driving by and seeing people turn the lights on and getting ready. And just hearing things like that just make me love doing this job because I love community. And when it comes together, it's just amazing. And now I got to only imagine that music and ministry at St. John United Church of Christ goes beyond just dessert theater. It happens every day. Fill me in if you could.
Absolutely. We are doing right now. We are doing a summer program right now.
Really? Okay.
And we're going to be doing Vacation Bible School, and that we are continuing to do many projects. I talk about the groups and the different things that we do. We have activities in our St. John's gym like pickleball and walking and basketball and musical groups for people of all ages. We reach out we have a soup kitchen, so it's a message. It truly is a message. And just many other things that we're doing every single day. And our pastor, Pastor Jen Glover, she is always busy. Looking at the community. When we say we are church in the heart of the community, CJ, we have that community in the middle, in the center of our heart.
Well, and it seems like, and honestly, not just from hearing you speak, because, I do my background and I like to Google things and go and Facebook stalk the church, and like to see what you're doing. Every person that's a part of that church lives it. And you can see it. I mean, you can really see it coming in and really just, it puts a different perspective. And when I talk with folks, and I've said this all the time, when someone is spiritually connected and truly lives by that mission, there's a glow about someone. And you have the glow. I'm telling you. And I've always wondered why, and it makes sense. It makes sense.
Well, thank you, because people don't read, they watch.
That's true.
And when they see what you do, we can talk all day, but until you do what you say, people aren't gonna pay attention to anything you have to say.
You're 100% right. And now, with that being said, how can we get involved with Dessert Theater?
Well, all you have to do is call our office, and I'll give you that number here. Got it right here.
Loretta's always prepared because she knows I'll ask her anything.
You can call us and
is it that 344 number?
Yes. You can call us at the church office, and the number is 618-344-2565. Again, that's 618-344-2565. And it's free. We are asking for a free will offering. Yeah. Just to support the missions of our church. But it is free, and it is going to be packed. So
I like when we're on the same page, because that's what I kind of want to do. We've already been talking for over 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
It's just whenever you connect, it all just flies on by. But, take me through, because you said other missions that go on throughout the year. You take me through some of the things that you have done a part of the church that you're most proud of in terms of just ministry, in terms of just mission that you all do throughout the year.
Well, our soup kitchen and our youth program, oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Our youth program is amazing. We are serving probably over 100 youth during the summer.
Whoa. That's a very large number.
Every single week we serve these kids, and they come in and they learn a group of things. We have a great youth person that is at our church. Her name is Dana. She does an amazing job with the kids, and she just got so many great supporters. So when I say we are at the heart of our community, I truly mean that we are at the heart of our community.
I wanted to ask you this too. Whenever you encounter a child that maybe you're that's a part of the mission that you all are serving, what's the turnaround whenever they truly connect with something bigger than themselves? Because I've noticed just from when I was, kind of growing up, and just from my kind of observations, that when you grow up within an environment that has that type of atmosphere like a church, and it doesn't matter what denomination, as far as it's just that spirituality, that connection, it can go so much further for that child in terms of development than anything else. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is exactly like yours, because there's something about that inner person that changes the outer person.
Yes.
And when you go to a church like United Church of Christ, I have to brag on my church.
Please do.
And you get that teachings. You know, no matter what it is, we can get through this. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to turn to this thing or that thing, but you can turn to God, and you can turn to this church, and that inner person is going to create that outer person, and sadness becomes happiness. Yeah. And again, speaking of music, people get delivered through music. They may listen to a song, they may be going through something, and that song changes their whole outlook on things. So yes, the inner person changes. The outer person changes because what's inside.
100% over. Loretta, I always love chatting with you, and I know we're over 11 o'clock, but anytime I can talk to Loretta, we're going to go over. You want to get involved in this. Now, United Church of Christ is at, 307 West Clay Street?
Yes.
Really cool. And I wanted to ask you about the soup kitchen a little bit more, just because it seems like it's a very large component of the church. It seems like a pretty big service. Take me through, if you could, what the church does through its soup kitchen for the community.
Well, they serve on, I think, every third Thursday.
Okay.
And we normally have, I'm going to go ahead and say, over 200 people that we serve. You know, I think it's on a third Thursday. Mm-hmm. And it has grown. It started small, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a need in Collinsville. I don't know if you did any research in Collinsville, but there's a lot of at-risk communities, and a lot of individuals that just are not as fortunate as others. So our church, being in the heart of that, is a place where people can come and get things done. We get things done in the heart of that community.
Well, let me ask you something real quick before we wrap up. If someone says, you know what, Loretta, I can't make it to Dessert Theater, but I'd love to support what you're doing throughout the year at St. John's. We want to support the church. How can they do that? Is there an opportunity to donate throughout the year?
There absolutely is. We have a website. You go to the website. If you put on St. John's, there is a place that donate now. Hit that button. You can support us. And, you know, even if you're not supporting us, whether it's through revenue or monetary, if you want to say, hey, I'd like to help, you know, give us a call at that number, at that number that we just said, mm-hmm. and we can put you to work.
And that phone number again is 618-344-2526.
That's right. That's correct.
There we go. Loretta, it's always a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
And we're going to link everything that we discussed today in an article on RiverBender.com to promote it further, just as a, thanks for stopping by from me. And because this is a really big deal. I love whenever a church does some really cool things, and I love whenever they're a part of the community. And Loretta, I just love you to death, to be honest with you.
Thank you, CJ.
No problem. We're out of time. It's 11:06 on this Friday. I will see you back here live with more of our daily show, with a jam-packed show yet again. Proud of myself. Dog days of summer aren't hitting me yet, you know?
Oh, my goodness.
So on that note, have a great weekend, but most importantly, just as always, try your best to stay out of jail.